Hello, dear students. I welcome you all to this session. In this session, we will study about the poem No Men Are Foreign, written by James Kirkup. Now, if we look at the title of the poem, No Men Are Foreign, in this title, the word foreign means a person who belongs to another country. So here the poet means to say that no man belongs to another country. So we all are same, we all are equal. So we can say that the poet is focusing on the thought of equality. And dear students, let us imagine a world without any borders. Now if we talk about a world without any borders, then we can say that it is focusing on universal brotherhood. So this poem is about peace, love, unity and universal brotherhood. Stanza 1. In this stanza, the poet is saying that, remember, no men are strange, no countries foreign. Beneath all uniforms, a single body breathes. Now, he means that we should always remember this, we should always keep this in our mind that no men are unknown to us and no countries are foreign to us. And beneath all the uniforms, a single body breathes. It means that under all the outer coverings, we have a similar body. Like ours, the land our brothers walk upon is earth like this, in which we all shall lie. And here he means to say that we and our brothers means the citizens of other countries, we and our brothers, we all walk on the same land, the similar earth, and we all are going to lie in this land after we will die. Now here, the thing which we have to notice is that in this stanza there is no rhyme scheme, as this poem is written in free verse. Stanza 2. They too, aware of sun and air and water, are fed by peaceful harvest, by war's long winter starved. Now, in this stanza, the first word they refers to the people of other countries. Now, the poet says that they also get sun, air and water and are fed by peaceful harvest, by war's long winter starved. This line means that the people cultivate the crops during the peaceful season and they cultivate their crops after the war's long winter starved. Here he means to say that the people were hungry during the war time, and this war time has been compared to the season of the winter, which is a long season. Now he further says that their hands are ours, and in their lines we read a labor not different from our own. Their hands are ours. This line means that we all have similar hands, and with these hands we all do labor. And he means to say that a labor not different from our own, he means that the labor, the hard work which we do and the hard work which our brothers from another land do are same to each other. There is no dissimilarity between the labor. Stanza 3. Remember, they have eyes like ours that wake or sleep, and strength that can be won by love. Now here the poet means to say that they also have eyes, and the eyes which we have and our brothers from another land have are similar to each other, and with these eyes we all wake in the morning and we all sleep in the night, and we all have a similar strength, and that strength can only be won by love, not by war. Further, he says, in every land is common life that all can recognize and understand. And there is something common in the life of every land, and that common thing is life itself. And that life is recognizable and understandable. Stanza 4. Let us remember whenever we are told to hate our brothers, it is ourselves that we shall dispossess, betray, condemn. Remember, we who take arms against each other. Now, in this stanza, the poet is making the readers remember it once again that whenever anyone tell us to hate our brothers, to indulge in a fight with our brothers, it is we who dispossess ourselves. Now, the word dispossess means deprive, vanchit karna. Betray means to cheat, dhokha dena. Condemn means to talk about something bad, to talk bad about someone, किसी की बुराई करना. So he says that it is ourselves that we shall dispossess, betray and condemn. Like by hating our brothers, we are depriving ourselves, we are cheating ourselves, and we are talking bad about our own selves. We are doing bad to our own self. Now further he says, remember, we who take arms against each other. Here the word arms refers to weapons. Now we are the ones who are taking arms against each other. We are the ones who are indulging into wars, indulging into fights with each other. Stanza 5. It is the human earth that we defile. Now this line means that by indulging in war, bloodshed and crime and hatred, we are defiling our human earth. Defile means to make dirty, ganda karna. Our hells of fire and dust outrage the innocence of air that is everywhere our own. It means that our hells of fire and dust, the fire and dust that is caused because of war, because of bloodshed, because of bombing, is outraging the innocence of air. Innocence of air means purity of air. It means that the air is being polluted because of the war, because of the fire and dust. And remember, no men are foreign and no countries are strange. This line is the repetition of the first line. The meaning is similar. The poet is saying that no men are foreign. There is no one who belongs to another land. We all belongs to this planet Earth, and no country is strange. And there is no such country which is unknown to us. Now, if we talk about the poetic devices which are covered in this poem, so the first is rhyme scheme. Now, students, in this poem there is no particular rhyme scheme, as we can notice it from the last words of every line of every paragraph. The words are not rhyming. So this poem is written in free verse. Now second is in the first stanza, if you will notice the second line, a single body breathes. Body breathes. Now the b sound is being repeated. Now here comes alliteration. And third is repetition. Repetition of the word remember. If you will look at the first stanza, you can see that the first word is remember. Then in the third stanza, first word is remember. Then in the fourth stanza, the word remember has been used twice. And then last stanza, the last line, first word remember. So talking about poetic devices, first there is no rhyme scheme. It is written in free verse. Second, example of alliteration in first stanza, and then repetition of the word remember in the whole poem.